Hello, my fellow YouTubers and subscribers, and welcome to my latest movie review, where today I review the latest movie from Dreamworks Animation, The Wild Robot, directed by Chris Sanders, and as we know, he's quite a famous director in the eye of Dreamworks. After a shipwreck, an intelligent robot called Roz is stranded on an uninhabited island. To survive the harsh environment, Roz bonds with the island's animals and cares for an orphaned baby goose. So, The Wild Robot. Now, I'd seen the trailers for this movie quite a lot. It used to be the one trailer that kept playing in the cinema recently when I went to see other movies. So, DreamWorks haven't really had the best track record this year, what with Kung Fu Panda 4 kind of being a disappointment. Well, not kind of, it being a disappointment. Fact. So, in order to really talk about this movie, it's really quite something, because the trailer doesn't give a lot away, so I think that it's better to just go and see this movie. So my opinion on this film overall was unexpected, in that I did not expect to absolutely adore this film. This is the best DreamWorks movie in years. In years. I mean that. I'm not trying to sugarcoat. I really mean that. This movie is a masterpiece of animation. Anyone who says otherwise, I would encourage them to rewatch it. This is a beautiful, heartfelt, moving piece of cinema, and you can tell this has been so beautifully crafted, and the story is simple, but its beauty lies in its simplicity. I think without the emotional context that this film has, there wouldn't be much there, and I have to really give credit to Chris Sanders here, because the story it just flows, it just works, and there's really strong themes here. The blend of nature and technology working together instead of being opposing forces, and I like that, even though there's definitely spectacle that tries to suggest otherwise. And I love the theme of inclusion and equality, the way that Roz brings the island together and brings the characters together who don't necessarily get along. Everybody's very segregated to begin with, but then when they come together towards the end, it's beautiful. You feel the power in the alliance there. And also the idea of a robot who does actually develop emotional feelings is obviously, it's an idea that's been done before, but it is a very interesting idea that's explored in this film, and it really does work. I'm not quite exactly sure how Roz overrides her programming. I might have missed that, so if anyone knows, do let me know. But the way that she is told she's overridden her programming, you kind of forget about that because the rest of it is so beautiful. And at the heart of the story is the relationship with Roz and Brightbill. Brightbill being the baby goose that Roz raises. I'm guessing basically that Brightbill, when he sort of leans his head on her, imprints some kind of emotional connection into her, and she starts to feel more like a mother, like she has to take care of him. Roz, as a robot, is left with this sort of prime objective, which is to complete every task that is given to her. And her task is to take care of this goose. But she doesn't quite know how to do that because she's emotionally detached. So in order to do that, she's had to override her programming. That's it. Forget my own bloody words sometimes. And Lupita Nyong'o voices Roz. Does a very good job, because it's quite hard to strike the balance between, how much emotion do you show playing a robot and how much emotion don't you show. And I think the transition with that is very well handled. I think Lupita Nyong'o does a very good job. You will probably cry your eyes out at some of the scenes with Brightbill and Roz. There are some very emotional stuff, and I was surprised. I was getting the knot in the throat there, and I was feeling the impact. And as well as the rest of the cast, we have Pedro Pascal as Ving, who does a very good job. Ving, who is a fox, who's kind of a rogue fox. No one really likes him, but he does eventually earn the respect of the group as things go on. Kit Connor as Brightbill is very good. Bill Nighy as Longneck, very, very good. Stephanie Sue as Vontra. Matt Berry as Paddler. Mark Hamill is in the movie as Thorn, who I believe is the bear, but don't quote me on it. Ving Rhames, who you might know from the Mission Impossible movies, is Thunderbolt. Catherine O'Hara as Pinktail, who I believe is a mother possum to loads of different possums. And the list goes on, but they are the main players of this movie, and they all do a very, very good job. This movie had so much more action than I expected. I didn't expect it to be so action-packed. The movie's trailer established it to being more focused on the emotional relationship, which is still the truth, but the action is not shown in the trailer, not as much anyway, which I think is interesting. The final battle on the island where the forest is burning and Brightbill flies the geese up to the ship to rescue Roz, that is very impressive, and that is incredibly epic, and you're just on the edge of your seat going, oh god, I hope they make it, because the film gives you time and it really invests in that relationship, so you invest in it. What's more also is the beginning of the movie where Roz is shipwrecked and she's trying to learn everything about the island, and she's trying to find a purpose, she's trying to find a task to do, and it's kind of sad actually. They make you feel sorry for a robot with no feelings, because Roz is being attacked by everything and everyone, and this ties in again with the theme of the segregation versus inclusion, the idea of everything being so isolated in the beginning, yet the island then becomes a safe haven for everyone at the end. And I think the ending makes sense to me. I won't spoil the ending if you're going to go and see the movie, but the decisions the character makes at the end of the movie, they're doing what they're doing for the right reasons, but it's still sad to see them, see them make the choice in the way they do. I can only be as vague as that. The music is also very beautiful, and there's some amazing scenes in this movie that the music just complements. Like the scene when Roz is teaching Brightbill how to fly. I mean, that is so beautiful. I almost cried my eyes out watching that, because that was amazing. And the animation is stunning. Granted, the animation of Dreamworks has certainly changed over the last few years. They've kind of gone with this sort of half anime, half CGI style, and it's kind of odd when you watch like The Bad Guys and Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. But actually, for The Wild Robot, it really does blend very well, and it lends itself very well to the story. And the environments are beautiful, the detail is very well designed, and again, it's something very simple. You wouldn't expect it to be so beautiful, but it is very beautiful. And I think that the key to this movie is it's a perfect example of the phrase less is more. They didn't need a massively convoluted script. They didn't need a massive in-depth plot. You just needed characters with basic motivations that you could emotionally connect with, and a story that seems simple on the surface but then has a deeper meaning contextually when you think about the whole technology and the nature and inclusion, equality, all of those things, which is why I believe this film is DreamWorks' masterpiece. It's one of their best movies in years, absolutely. If they made a sequel, I don't know if that would be entirely necessary, but I think that what this film does is so brilliant. It could teach younger audiences about how nature and technology are both great things that don't always have to be opposing forces. They can work together. And I hope this film is an advocate for that, because I believe it's truly, truly special. To be honest, I'm struggling to think of any flaws with the movie. I think it's honestly very, very beautiful. So I am going to rate this movie a 10 out of 10. I think it's a fantastic film, and I didn't honestly know what to expect, really, and I'm glad I went to see it, because it's great on the big screen. I highly recommend it, and all the children that were in the screen with me were very quiet. I have to praise them for that. Their patience and their interest in the film was definitely kept. So this is the sort of film that kids should go and see, because it's not pandering. I mean, some of the humor is a little bit pandering, but it's not too much. It's not to the scale like Trolls or anything where it's annoying. This is pandering humor in the right way. It's just a sprinkle, and I think that is appropriate for what the film is, because then the film can be mature and tell its own story. So that's my review of The Wild Robot. What do you think of this film? Please comment down below, let me know. Stay tuned for more reviews in the future. Please hit the like and subscribe button, and until next time, I'm Pajak's Perspective. See ya. Bye for now.